Megyn Kelly, she gets called out for downplaying Epstein as a predator. That's called a team player right there. Here it is.
I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn. Now they call it child sexual abuse material.
Put her up. Ma'am, first of all, a 15-year-old is a child, not barely legal. A 15-year-old is illegal for an adult to access and exploit. Number two, it was always predatory behavior against children. Always, regardless of a brand name that somebody may have given it. You are the same woman who told people on your news show years back that Jesus and Santa Claus are white men. So I know there's a learning curve here that I'm dealing with. Megyn Kelly spends 2 whole minutes of her life on a national show discussing whether Jeffrey Epstein meets the actual definition of the P word. Okay? Her remarks are so outrageous that children are now actively debating the learning curve. Megyn Kelly, here it is.
Hey, Megyn Kelly. I'm Eloise and I'm 14 years old. I wasn't even going to say anything because the topic is an adult one. My mom even made a video about it yesterday because we didn't feel it was an appropriate topic for a child to speak about. But after hearing you go on camera and explain that Epstein wasn't into 8-year-olds, just the barely legal type like 15, I realized you might need an actual reality check from a literal child. So let me help you out. Megyn, people in my grade are turning 15 right now. Some of us still have baby faces. Some of us still have braces. Some of us still call our parents when we're scared at night. Some of us still look like middle schoolers because we basically are. And the fact that a grown woman needs a teenager to explain that is honestly terrifying. Here's the part you seem confused about. Under federal law, anyone under 18 is a child. No asterisk.
Way to go to the young 14-year-old leader. I want to remind you, Megyn Kelly believes that Santa Claus and Jesus are white men. Okay, just for some context, you're not dealing with an intellectual equal. You are teaching an individual who should know better. Hats off to you, 14-year-old future leader as well to this nation. I'll put Megyn Kelly up again. I am so very thankful that the 14-year-old who corrected her is our future, and the woman who got corrected is our past. Actress Christina Richey shared there's definitely a difference between a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old. Quote by Kelly and claim Megyn Kelly is a danger to children for downplaying Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. Actress Melissa Gilbert shared in an IG post that after coming across many posts in the I was 15 hashtag, by the way, she decided to look herself up at 15 years old on Google. When she did so, she saw photos of herself on Little House on the Prairie with her older love interest, played by Dean Butler, now 69 years of age. Quote, I am actually nauseated, Gilbert wrote, in part in the post caption, quote, girl on vacation in Hawaii with her family. is the same girl who was expected to fall in love with and kiss a man on film who was several years older than she was. Through the lens of today, this is shocking. I have no words other than to say, I was a child. I was 15. And I was the good news. Gilbert wrote that she's grateful for Michael Landon, who directed, produced, and starred in the popular series, her mother, and so many others, because they were there to make sure I was safe. Quote, can you imagine if I hadn't had them all? I am so fortunate, sort of. Many other young women aren't. Megyn Kelly, you need to be careful with your words, the actress said. Now, it was Megyn Kelly who initially, she was on the Epstein bandwagon herself. She championed those who said, release the files, release the files. She even cautioned Donald Trump in how he was responding to this Epstein thing, trying to give him, well, clarity as to why it's so important. Today, she is, well, let's just say, softening her approach. She made up some fictional person that's very close to this and knows details. And this is what they have said. This is her way of introducing the idea. She introduces the idea, hoping to create a barrier between the truth of what's happening and the spin of what they would like to say. It is shameful. But once again, Megyn Kelly has never been known to have some kind of extreme integrity with her belief system or her willingness to remain, well, relevant. All right. Thoughts, dear brother?
Well, there's so much here. I look, in a hat tip to the late Michael Ray Richardson, a former New York Knick who died last week. This is the ship be sinking, as he would say. And when you are in the weeds debating whether something is illegal, whether someone is a child, whether it's really pedophilia, that means you are losing the battle. And if this is what is happening in Trump world extended, and Megyn Kelly is a part of that, then there's real trouble. There's no currency in debating whether or not these were children, saying an 8-year-old or a 15-year-old. Yeah, if you go to Merriam-Webster, they're gonna say that a pedophile or pedophilia is a fascination and a desire and an action against a prepubescent child. But that's not what this is about at all. And so when you're getting into the letter of the law stuff and what you feel about it, it's ugly, and it means you're defending uglier. And that's what's happening right now. To me, it's a great sign that this whole thing is falling apart, that these people are going to get their comeuppance, and this is the ugliness is going to be adjudicated at some point. So I in that sense, it's great. This is pathetic and this is ugly. And thank goodness for people like Melissa Gilbert and Christina Richey, no relation, I'm guessing, saying these sorts of things, because it's important.
Yeah, well said. Well said.